Oh, sorry.
This is a replay, Andre. GGXD. Wow. That's really cool, man, to do the music. Do you know any other cool characters? Whoa, what? You can do the span. Hola? Yes, this is dog. Is this dog? Yes, this is dog. Oh, is this dog? Comes with the accents. Aw, these guys are just having friendly banter. Really nice. Guys, introducing the top left player. It is Stephano from Team Evil Genius's Raid Call. Stephano is so good at StarCraft 2. Maybe not the best at spelling English words, as he did spell mystery with an I, but that's okay, man. English is not his first language.
It's all good.
English is not my first language.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That was always my excuse for English class. In the bottom left from Team Complexity is QXC, Kevin Riley. Great Terran player, dating back to the beta. Awesome innovation to small things in Terran race in terms of like the things like bunker placements. He has this cool Reaper drop he used to do back in the day on maps like Metalopolis, where he would go Reapers, pick them up so that like Zerglings, Roaches, and Queens can't really attack them too much. It was really, really cool to see that kind of stuff. But QXC always trying to push the envelope.
On Blackwater Gulch is the first time I actually saw that. It was one of the coolest things ever. Unfortunately, he lost that game.
TT, man.
TT.
Stephano is...
By the way, Stephano thought his name was Ryan.
Kevin doesn't fit you?
Yeah. That's why he's saying Kevin doesn't fit you.
What would you think QXC's name is if you didn't know his name was Kevin Ryan?
Chad.
Chad.
Chad Jones.
Is it the bandana?
No, it's just because he's a BA.
That's right. QXC does things like parkour, and he used to be like super duper jacked, right?
Yep.
That's back in the day.
He still is, man. Chad is just such a cool name. It's like such a...
That's Minigun's real name.
Yeah. Chad.
Chad. It's just such a chill name.
Hey, Mom. I'm going to go chill out with Chad.
It just sounds like Chad would be a bad influence on you.
Yeah, he would
like,
be.
I don't like you hanging out with Chad. It's like, why
no,
not,
Mom.
man? It's like, because he just sounds like a little rascal.
Yeah.
Chad. And then, like, because you realize his full name is Chadwick. And then you realize that's not as badass of a name as it sounds. It's like, wow, your real name was Chadwick.
Chadwick. I don't hate it. Anyway, CC first coming out from QXC. He did a cross scout, I think just to mess with his opponent. To make it be like, oh, I'm going to 11-11 you. You better be careful, you. Stephano, you better be careful. And then all of a sudden, Stephano's like, yeah, I see that's coming. And he goes for a huge drone count plus. Oh, wait, he saw the command center. Okay, I got to pay attention to this game.
Too off track,
Yeah,
Andre?
I went way too off track, guys.
Ooh,
I apologize.
Very early double gas from Stephano at the natural. He wants to avoid a scan.
Oh.
So Stephano might go for an early bust of some sorts. I mean, this double gas early on is very unconventional, right, Andre?
Roach Zergling Baneling, man. He loves to do this on Entombed Valley. I've seen him do this time and time again in like every single one of his games. And I'm waiting for someone to just hard counter him on this map because I swear, like, there's so many Stephano games, even last season, where I see players actually trying to defend this ramp, and then Stephano just is like, LOL, everything that you have belongs to me, and then he kills it all. And I feel like that's going to happen yet again. Now he is droning up around 30. Right now is actually when he, yep, there we go, Roachhorn gets placed. I was about to say, right now is when he stops making more drones, and he just goes all out units. I think mid-30s is the
triple
perfect
overlord
amount. Yep. When you make triple overlord, you're preparing for a lot of spendage.
4 roaches on the way, as Stephano also has 4 queens. Now he's just going for roaches for now, but he's also very preparing some upgrades as well. Stephano has a nice variation of what he can do. He has nice 2-2 where he can kind of bust. He has nice 1-1 as he can go with just roaches straight up. But it's interesting that he gets an Evo chamber after his roaches, Andre, because it signifies he wants to follow up. So it looks like he's just going to pressure with the early roaches.
It's just roach pressure.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like a young roach pressure.
I am they wrong. I wonder why he actually did that. Because he got a silly amount of
gas.
No, of Overlords. He got 3 Overlords altogether when he wasn't even supply cap. So, like, for sure, that signified to me, oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of Zerglings being made directly behind this. But no, not at all.
No, I mean, I feel like the Overlord space was worth noting, but now I feel kind of silly pointing it out. But again, it's Stephano does what Stephano pleases. It's his, like, he has really cool situational CVT builds. And now he's going to start +1/+1 melee attacks and start attacking up to layer while getting a 3rd base. So Stephano's going to take it a little bit similar to the previous game, but at the same time his timings are a little bit different. Meanwhile, QXC, of course, is doing very standard stuff. Third command center, as well as adding on more barracks, going for a transition off of Hellion Banshee into Marine Tank.
Something a little bit of a mix-up, but I like to see this. They're in close position via vertical positions, so I feel like pushes over here are actually very strong. And a lot of times, you know, Zerg is kind of relegated to counterattacking in this area or even this area. And I think with proper placement of siege tanks, you can actually defend against all that pretty easily and just go back home with your units while taking out the natural. And you have a perfect base trade scenario where you take out a natural and your opponent loses their whole army.
Yeah, and Stephano values like getting the security of his bases over rather than responding and trying to go for minimal amount of defense and as a result getting caught off guard. He's a guy that always, even in ZVP, would be comfortable staying on 3 base for a while posts on 3 base before he can get any kind of hive tech out. He's one of those guys that is going to be able to not die to those silly Hellion run-bys because of it. And that's why I think Stephano is just going to... He doesn't even feel that out of position despite the fact that QXC is doing pretty good economically.
That's right. And, you know, honestly, Stephano's one of those players that... I hate to say it, but he can basically do anything he wants, and he can still look or be successful. I don't know what it is about him. It just feels like... No, you were actually explaining to me where there are those levels where it's like, oh yeah, you're at a point where you don't have to worry about actually your mechanics. Like, you don't have to worry about playing well because it's just inherent. It's your body now reacting to the keyboard and the mouse, and you're able to do everything almost flawlessly. And then there's the part where it's like, oh, I can now play mind games with you. And it's like, Stephano can even supersede that and say, well, I can do whatever I want against you because I'm just on a completely different level. And I forgot who you said that about.
So about Hyung.
Yeah.
I thought Hyun is very much like that in Fight Clubs, the way he does handles best of 9s.
Oh yeah, against C. Against C, right?
It was embarrassing.
Yeah, and that's how I feel like Stephano is. I mean, we saw his games against Night End. He was so far behind. He's like, okay, well, I'll just push now and win the game. I'm tired of just defending, and he did it. And it feels like it just doesn't make sense. It's like, oh, Night End, you made mistakes, but when it comes down to it, it's like, wow. Ilias, you just lost everything in your base, and you still are able to manage to win. I don't know. I don't know how he does it.
It felt kind of a little bit like watching Na'Vi from Dota 2. You know, when we're watching the Invitational, where it just seems like they fall super far behind, but they somehow just piece it together and make it another big comeback rally, and then all of a sudden they win again. Although they did fall a little bit short for the Invitational 2. Still one of the best Dota 2 teams in the world. Double drop here from QXC has been pushed off. QXC again just turning off of 3 base while trying to get up a pretty strong Marine tank core. Does have his 1-1 done, but not 2-2 started just yet. It's actually kind of curious. Most Terrans love to go for their 2-2 timing based off this position, but especially top down, 2-2 is pretty strong. It took on Entombed Valley. Why do you think QXC is delaying his upgrade?
I have no clue. I think it's actually a mistake. Either that or he's just doing some sort of huge all-in, but look at his disposable income at this point. He has so much bank.
Yeah, got a lot of money,
1,400, so I think it is a mistake. Oh, no QXC.
That's going to be really tough considering that Zerg will be on is already on 2-2.
I'm so sorry. This purple against purple still is annoying.
Oh, I understand it.
Yeah, but since Stephano, as you said, since Stephano already has his 2-2, 3-3 on the way, yeah. Ultra is going to have chitinous armor. 1-1 is going to be awful.
It's going to be tough just because the Zerglings have more durability, which gives more time for Zerg to do anything. Zerglings can get in position. Stephano has done a pretty decent job spreading creep at least towards the midway point of the map so he can protect his 4 bases comfortably as well. 2 ultras are on the way. Only 4 tanks out from QXC as well. Not that much for any kind of real timing. It's already 14.5 minutes as well. This is around the time where 2-2 should be about finishing. And now QXC really has to be cautious with how he steps.
You know, it's something so amazing with these top-level Zergs. I've been playing a lot of ZVT and TVP and everything, and always, 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 I lose my initial Zerglings. You know, there's a lot of trades. Oh, God, too many Zerglings.
Big trades, Andre, incoming as the tanks get completely surrounded. Did target down the Infestors. Nice job from QXC, but honestly, that attack was just barely a dent. I think 4 Zerglings died from that engagement.
Something like that, Frodan. I mean, like, look at that.
Look at the units lost,
yeah, that's
man.
crazy.
Oh, gosh. And QXC, the onslaught will continue because that, I mean, Stephano doesn't even need Infestors, man.
No.
He's got Zergling, Baneling, Ultra. He can crash out the gate. He can kind of be inefficient here just because he's got so much more macro. And Stephano's got 1 Infestor, but he doesn't even know what to do with all his energy. He's going to drop some Infested Terrans, but at that point, he's just blocking his own units. Stephano says, who cares, man? I just got so much, and you have so little. GG.
There it is. QXC just so far behind in that game, and it's unfortunate. I don't know if it was like a well, obviously that 2-2 was a mistake, but just going back into the game, I don't even know where to start now.
It's
just whatever you want.
It was more like, man, I'm gonna roach pressure, but you know what? I'm just gonna scale back and use these roaches for defense. I'm just gonna macro up. I'm just gonna tech the hive. I'm just gonna attack, and then he wins. It's more like
I know what I want to say. You know, the top tier Zergs, you always see the Hellions and Zerglings trading out in the beginning stages, and Zerglings are like, I'm gonna catch you, and they're like, and they get fried. That doesn't happen with Stephano. And you saw the effects of that Zergling count. He was able to just completely outdo his opponent, and that's something that's very, I think, unique to the top-level Zerg players. It's the fact that they're able to retain their larva the whole game and have it snowball into that first major fight where it was silly, right? It was just absolutely silly.
It was, but at the same time, it's really cool to see Stephano do very well. And Stephano is now 3-2 in his division. QXC is 0-5. Making it very difficult for him to climb back. Hopefully he can come back in the upcoming weeks. Tune in for that. Thank you so much to Azo, the sponsor of that game and series. Check out their monitors at azo.com/NA. When we come back, our next series will be Night End versus Sen. We haven't seen Sen in a while, man. Let's see what he's up to against Night End, who's been struggling a little bit in PvZ. All this and more when we return.